Tomorrow, the highly anticipated announcement will be made. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I do want to talk about the very important announcement coming tomorrow. I want to talk you through all the details, what this announcement means, what this announcement is, and why this announcement is going to impact literally every single American to some capacity. Therefore, you can probably tell it's pretty important, so let's get into it and talk through all the details because there's actually a lot more under the hood about this announcement than just the headline numbers. So let's get into it and talk about what is going on. Now, starting today, the FOMC meeting has started, which is a meeting with the Federal Reserve talking about interest rates and, of course, the economy. Now, this is a two-day meeting. It started today and it will be wrapping up tomorrow. Then the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, will be coming out announcing what they're going to be doing with interest rate policy going forward. Now, the last couple FOMC meetings that they had, they raised interest rates by 75 basis points, and it's highly anticipated they're going to raise interest rates yet again by another 75 basis points, possibly even 100 basis points or 1 full percentage point. Now, why do we care about this? Well, there's actually a variety of reasons why we care about this. So let me talk you through the details about it, and I'm going to break this all down and let you know why. There's multiple different reasons why this is so incredibly important, what this announcement means for the average person, and seriously, what it's going to mean for the economy as well as a variety of other things going forward. So I'm going to try to buzz through this kind of quickly simply because there's a lot of different reasons why this announcement out of the Federal Reserve is very important. All right, so the whole idea behind raising interest rates is to bring down this inflation. But let me ask you this much. Has this been working? I mean, let's be real for just a second. The last couple meetings that they had in June and July, they raised interest rates by 75 basis points each to bring down inflation. Has inflation come down? Well, depends who you ask, but I mean, depends on what you're looking at. Inflation has maybe come down a teeny tiny bit, but for the most part, inflation is still going up. So their policies and what they've been doing for the last few months here have done nothing. They've done absolutely nothing. So why would this time be any different? Well, again, that's going to be up to the person that we're talking to. But again, what we're actually looking at right now, the likelihood of this interest rate hike is probably not going to do, yet again, a whole lot to inflation. But we need to continue watching this situation. That is why they're doing this, why they're raising interest rates. But let me break this down for you and let you know another reason why this is so important. So here's the thing. When they raise interest rates, the cost of borrowing money goes up. While at the same time, if there's a silver lining to any of this, the actual interest that you're going to be getting on any savings that you may have, which by the way, if you're anybody that has any kind of savings in a savings account right now, you're certainly a rare type of person because the vast majority of people right now do not have any money in savings. So for anybody that does have a little bit of savings right now, the interest rates on savings accounts will also be going up. So I guess if there's any silver lining to this, I guess you're going to be getting like, I don't know, maybe 1% interest on your money in a savings account. Meanwhile, the inflation rate is still about 8.3%. So I guess looks like you're still going to lose about 7.3% to inflation. But again, I guess it's better than nothing. But when it comes down to it, the cost to borrow money is going to increase yet again. Now, when I say borrow money, I literally mean debt. So any kind of debt that you may have that might have an adjustable rate on it, for example, credit cards, or maybe like a personal loan or a home equity line of credit, things like this, that anything that has an adjustable rate on the debt is going to get more expensive. The interest rate is going to go up. Therefore, any balance that you're carrying, guess what? It's just going to cost you more in interest. Yay, just what we wanted, to pay more in interest and get even further behind. Thank you very much. We all love paying more in interest that literally just evaporates out the door. And we know that interest, doesn't really do anything for you. It's just money that just literally evaporates. So, but again, if you're looking to open up any new debt products, for example, if you're looking to lock in a mortgage, if you're looking to buy a new car and get an auto loan, if you're getting student loans, if you're, anything. I mean, literally, if you're getting any kind of debt right now, it doesn't really matter what it is. A personal loan, like I said, a line of credit, a home equity loan, anything like this. It doesn't matter what it is. Any type of debt, there's always an interest rate tied to it, right? Well, if you're locking in a new fixed rate right now of any kind, again, that rate is going to be significantly higher than what it would be just a few months ago. And after this announcement, it will be yet again going higher again. So, which, quick side note, just the other day, interest rates on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage have now exceeded 6%. That's crazy times, right? The last time that we saw a 6% handle on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage was a long time ago. That is a very high well, let me take it back. It's not like super high considering it wasn't that many years ago when we saw the 6%. It was a while ago, but historically, over the last several years here, the last few years, interest rates on mortgages have been very low. In fact, earlier this year, or the end of last year, earlier this year, interest rates on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage were below 3%, 2.86% on a 30-year fixed rate. That's crazy. We're up more than double that as of right now. So that's going to be really impacting a lot of buyers in the real estate market. And then, of course, anybody who might have an adjustable rate mortgage, ouch. I hope that you are doing okay, because an adjustable rate mortgage, remember, is also adjusting to these higher interest rates. Not pretty, okay? So we got to pay attention to all this. All right, so as a result of this, again, raising interest rates will increase the cost of borrowing money. Okay, that's number one. Next, this is going to severely contract the economy. So over the last couple months here, as we've seen interest rates ticking higher, we've known that this is already causing a lot of layoffs. We're seeing a lot of contractions in the economy. If they raise interest rates by another 75 basis points, possibly another 100 basis points with this next meeting that's going to be wrapping up tomorrow, this is just going to contract the economy even further. And that's what they want to do. This is not by accident. This is all by design, right? They want to do this because apparently there's too much spending right now. And that's what's causing all this inflation. Too much money chasing too few goods and services, which is literally the definition of inflation. Too much money chasing too few goods and services. Therefore, increased demand and limited supply, and again, prices must go higher. Simple economics. So, when it comes down to it, they're going to continue to contract this economy. Well, as a result of that, we're likely going to see a lot more layoffs, a lot more job losses, a lot more large corporations cutting hundreds or even thousands of jobs. Now, when it comes down to the smaller businesses, the medium-sized businesses, the smaller businesses, those are also going to be impacted in a very big way as well, because they're probably also laying off people. They're probably getting less customers walking through their door. They're getting less revenues and less profits coming in because people are spending less money right now. Everything is more expensive, and the cost to borrow any money or anything like that is going to get greater and greater. Therefore, people stop spending as much money, right? Well, this all comes back onto the economy, where the economy starts to contract, right? So it's going to start hurting small businesses, medium businesses, pretty much all businesses. They're all going to feel the impacts of this because us, the consumer, are spending less money. So very important to understand, right? So as a result of this, when we continue to see the economy contracting, when we see the unemployment rate ticking higher, when we see more people losing their jobs, it's again not laying out a very pretty picture right now. Now, one more thing that I want to throw out there, and again, I don't know what Congress is going to do, so I don't want to lead anybody on by saying for sure this is going to happen, because honestly, I don't really know what's going to happen as far as what Congress is going to do about this. But I want to say this much. For those of you here in the community that have been wondering, will there be another stimulus check? Here's what I can tell you. As the economy continues to contract, as the Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates, the unemployment rate will go higher. There's pretty much nowhere else that it can go. Sitting at about 3.7% as of the last couple months here, there's only really one way that it can go, and that's up, okay? As the unemployment rate continues to rise higher, the likelihood of another check gets greater and greater because they know, Congress knows, as well as the administration and the government as a whole, the most important thing about all of this is full employment, getting a lot of people working. Well, as the economy is contracting, businesses are laying off people. Therefore, the unemployment rate is going up, right? In fact, let me throw this out there really quickly for you because this is also interesting. About a year and a half ago, we got a number of different lawmakers that drafted a letter and sent it over to the president asking him to include automatic stabilizers into the American Rescue Plan, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package that was passed in March of 2021. That would automatically send out stimulus checks in the event that the unemployment rate gets to a certain level. And again, that's not a very high level. It's not like they were going to choose 7%. They probably would have chosen about 4.7 to maybe 5% around that range. We're only about 1.3% off of that right now, okay? So that's how important the unemployment rate is. It's very, very important. In fact, if I had to say one thing as far as the likelihood of another check, it's all going to come down to the unemployment rate. It's all going to come down to jobs. That's very, very important. Now, of course, there are some other factors out there, but when it comes down to it, they're all going to be looking at the job market. What's going on with jobs? What's going on with the unemployment rate? Very important number that we need to watch closely. So these are just some of the factors that we need to pay attention to, and all of this is going to be impacted. Let me throw something else out for you. tomorrow when we get that announcement on what they're going to do, I would anticipate some major volatility in the stock market. Why? Well, investors are already anticipating a 0.75 or 75 basis point rate hike out of the Federal Reserve. If they surprise and come out with 100 basis points, watch out below, because the stock market is probably going to fall off a cliff, okay? So another thing too, regardless of what the announcement is, it doesn't really matter what the announcement is. There's likely going to be some volatility because this is probably the most highly anticipated announcement that's coming out as of recently, including the inflation numbers and the jobs numbers that comes out on the first Friday of every single month. So when the Fed speaks, everybody listens, especially investors. So pay attention tomorrow. Around about 2 p.m. East Coast time, there's going to be some major volatility in the stock market. So just please be aware of that as well. This is likely going to crush the real estate market even further because as interest rates continue to rise, more and more buyers are stepping out of the market because just can't afford a house anymore, right? 6% interest on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is just not going to sit well with a lot of buyers right now. A lot of people are really stretched thin right now. And for those people that can buy a house, I mean, a 6% handle on interest rates is just not going to fly for a lot of people, okay? So this is going to crush the real estate market even further, even though the announcement out of the Federal Reserve does not directly translate into the interest rates on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Virtually, it all kind of translates and it does kind of correlate together simply because interest rates are all pretty much tied together. Therefore, it will translate into higher interest on mortgages as well. Anyway, I know there's a lot in this video. Let's leave it there for now. And then again, tomorrow we will come back and kind of examine this whole situation. Let's talk about tomorrow what the Federal Reserve said, what they did with interest rate policy, and we'll again reassess the situation to see what's going on out there and what some of the commentary is that pops up tomorrow after the announcement. And of course, whatever that announcement happens to be. Either way, tomorrow's going to be a big announcement. There's going to be a lot of people watching this. And again, it's going to impact virtually anybody. If you have any debt of any kind, get ready to pay more. It's going to cost everybody more money to have that debt. Anyway, hope you're having a nice day. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one. Thanks so much for joining me. And